Emmanuel, Asiedu. I work at Stanbic Investment Management Services in Ghana, Accra. I head up the organization, so my day job is investing money. In effect, I'm a fund manager. Um, but I also spend quite a bit of time on social impact programs. I realize that in a country like ours, we can't wait for the leaders at the top to effect change as rapidly as we want the change to be effected. So what I do apart from the work at census, to work with social impact programs to try and affect health and educational outcomes positively. So for example, I'm a partner in a fund that looks for kids who are young, bright, but really needy, who need to be taken through school. And once we take them up, we take them right down from whatever grade they are in through to university, just to enable them to live fuller lives for themselves and make better choices for their future. And also to start a virtuous cycle so that if we have more educated people in the country, we think that this part of the world will be a much better place. So same with health too. One of the tougher choices I made was I did grad school in Canada, and it might look like a very small choice. I had the opportunity to stay there afterwards and look for work. So a choice that was difficult for me was just finishing grad school, hopping on the next flight, and coming back to Ghana. And I remember being at the airport, I met a number of Ghanaians, and they were seeing somebody, they were saying bye-bye to somebody, and they asked, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going back to Ghana." They said, "Back to the poverty?" I said, "Yes." And the reasons for taking that decision were simple. One, I had given my word to my previous employer that when I was done, I would come. It looks silly, but I realized that when you give your word, you need to keep it. It helps. That was the first thing. Second thing was I wondered if I joined the brain drain, who would stay to make this part of the world a better place? So that was one of the tougher choices I made, choosing where to stay to work and where to stay to try and effect change. I would think that one of the tougher challenges, at least for me on a personal level engaged with my organization, is first of all finding the right people to help the organization achieve its goals. What we tend to forget is that we look at the hardware, the systems, etc. We look at our goals, etc. But if you don't have the right people, it's all empty work. So one of the tougher challenges has been finding the right people. Once you find the right people, then another challenge is how to keep them engaged and in tune with the organization's mission. That's always a challenge, especially for workforces that are younger and that have and in industries where there's a lot of competition. For example, with my firm, there's a lot of competition around. How do you get the right people and keep them engaged so that they are aligned with your mission? They know that they want to grow with you. Those are tough choices, and much as we think that the job market is tight and that there's a lot of unemployment, finding the right people is a big problem that has been under the radar screens, and it will continue to be a tough challenge for firms going forward. The biggest lesson I've learned on the job is also one of the simpler ones, and that's that your character and your principles matter. Again, people will talk about the top line, the bottom line, and getting all the figures right, getting the marketing correct, etc., growing the business. But if your character and your principles, if you don't stand up for something, you aren't going to achieve anything. Character matters. What do I mean by that? There have been times when there's been the temptation to cross ethical lines, not be completely truthful to clients, to win business, etc. Each time we've been able to keep true to our word, keep true to our principles, and it's made us lose business sometimes. But the interesting thing is that over time, our business has grown much, much more than we expected. And I have a feeling it's because when people mention our names on the market, they align it with integrity and the truth. No matter what people do, character matters. The other lesson I've learned is that you need to show that you have vision. If you're leading an organization and you are not showing to the people you're leading that you have anywhere definite to go to, they'll fall by the wayside. Everybody wants to be led by a leader who knows exactly where he's going and who sends signals to reflect that. If you don't do that, you're roasted on the job market. You're roasted in your business. So those are two of the key things that I think are important. Character and ethics first, and then having a vision and being able to signal that vision to the people you lead.
Wow.